My name is Mark. I work here at Code42, and we're here today to talk about what we're doing with CoderDojo. So first, just some quick questions. Please raise your hand if you learned to code in college or earlier. Okay, most of you raised your hands. How about high school or earlier? Okay, keep your hands up. Junior high or earlier. Grade school or earlier. Wow, so most of you learned to code in school. And who did you first learn from? Was it a parent or family member? Teacher? Teacher, most of you learned from your teachers? Friend? So a lot of people have learned at school or socially. So why do we want to teach kids to code? Well, there's an opportunity right now, specifically in Minnesota. We rank number 47 in the nation for computer science education in public schools. Kids can learn to code, as you did, but public policy has not kept up. So we need to take it into our own hands. It's up to the private sector and volunteers at this point to teach kids to code. This study was done by the ACM and CSTA. Another reason is a business opportunity. There will be, by 2010 or 2020, 1.4 million computer jobs, only 400,000 computer science graduates. That's $500 billion opportunity or a million employee gap. That could impact Code42 and our ability to hire. So next, I'm going to show a brief 4.5-minute video that also makes the case for teaching kids to code.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old.
I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college.
Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and then basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than, sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read?
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball or build a house, all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is, computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know how to read and write code.
When I was in school, I was in this after-school group called the Whiz Kids. And when people found out, they laughed at me and, all these things. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool. And, I'm learning a lot. And some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
We have a fantastic chef,
Free food,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry.
Snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax or go to think or play music or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I mean, I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that, I mean, you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that 1 billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
All right. I like that quote. Coding is the closest thing we have to being a rock star, or to being having a superpower, actually. So you guys all have superpowers. So right now, since we need to take coding into our own hands, there are several ways you can do it. You can do it online with resources like Code Academy and Learn Street. There are also contests, which are of limited duration and scope. And there's also clubs. Clubs don't have a fixed curriculum. They're more social. There's freedom to work on what you want to work on. There's mentoring. And today we're going to talk about a coding club in the Twin Cities called CoderDojo. So what is CoderDojo? It gives kids a free, fun, and safe place to learn to program from mentors and each other. CoderDojo, founded early in 2011 in Ireland by a teenager named James Welton, who was featured in Forbes magazine by the time he was 20, and it's spread like wildfire. It's now global in over 22 countries. It has just a few rules, very few restrictions, including it must be free, and each CoderDojo is different. The one rule we have at the Twin Cities CoderDojo is be cool. This is one of the students who posted the rules on her back, and if you look really closely, it says, the one rule is to be cool, have fun, ask questions, help, share, be kind and respectful. Everyone is here to learn. So in summary, it's open, free, and child-led. So why do this? Primary reason is ultimately mentoring kids is what it's all about. So, part of that process is it's okay to fail. As professionals, we do it every day. And it's the same as being a mentor. You don't have to have a teaching degree or a lot of teaching experience or be an expert in computer science to be a mentor. You just help people problem solve, develop ideas, you learn and discover together. Here you can see Lisa Kristen, who has no coding experience at all, and she is helping Cole learn to code with Scratch. Another way of thinking of that is you can be the admiring grandparent. You can praise what the kids do, you resist the urge to take over, you support and guide. You're not doing the coding for them. There is a current educational theory which is popular right now from a book, How Children Succeed by Paul Tough, who discusses habits of mind. And they posit in that book that success is not high scores on tests or IQ scores or SAT scores even. It's not even skills. It's what they found the best predictor of success for students is those that develop perseverance, curiosity, conscientiousness, optimism, self-control. These are all things, skills we can teach and learn at a dojo. James Welton, the founder of the CoderDojo movement, said, if your CoderDojo looks like inspiring chaos, you probably got it right. So here at the Twin Cities dojo, the students are programming Raspberry Pis using Python to control Minecraft APIs. And you can see the tangle of wires there. It's an informal learning environment. There is no curriculum. It's purely based on what the kids want to do. So getting started is not difficult, but tools and resources definitely could help. Even though we're inspiring chaos, we need some basic things, such as space, power, and internet. As it turns out, we also need computers, monitors, cables, storage, and software. Clockwork and Code42 are providing those needs. You can see Nick Olmstead standing right over there at one of our spaces. He's sitting here. So what tech might you need? Might you use? So we have three tracks we're starting out with. MIT Scratch, which we'll talk about in a second. We're using Python, using Raspberry Pi and Minecraft API. We have a web track, CSS, JavaScript, and HTML5. And then we're adding a fourth track, just starting a 3D video game track using Unity 3D and Blender. So first with Scratch. Scratch is MIT developed. It's for kids. It's visual. It gives immediate feedback. You don't have to have any programming experience to teach Scratch or to learn Scratch. Scratch came from the Squeak language, which in turn came from the Smalltalk language. It's object-oriented. It has events. It has message passing. It's really cool. Here you can see the excitement of some young kids aged basically 7 to 10 seeing a Scratch program animate. As other students look on and help each other, the bottom boy is Daryl, and he created an animated lion singing Justin Bieber's song synchronized to lyrics. It was amazing, and it was his second time doing Scratch. Here's some more coding in Scratch. Two students watch on as Bobby Hartman at our dojo teaches them. Brianna, which is Daryl's sister in the previous slide, created a fully animated zoo in Scratch. Here's some more beginning students learning Scratch. They stayed at it for 2 hours like that. Focus. There's no need to discipline or control the kids. One of the games the kids created was a full 2-player capture the flag type game. Here are siblings helping each other. Kind of reminds me of pair programming at Code42 as we check out code from the Git repository or something. Another track we have is the web track, HTML5, CSS, JavaScript. Justin Grammons was involved with some of that. We use lots of tools there, Mozilla, WebMaker, Thimble. Here's some kids learning CSS. You can see projected. Our mentor, Will Buck, is passing out CSS cheat sheets to students. It's often just about getting some examples ahead of time and letting the kids run with it, just passing out some example code. They modify it and change it without any preconceptions. They also develop a type of kid communication where they pass information back and forth faster than the mentors can give it and solve the problem somehow. Kids are in charge. You can see the mentor listens. That's Doug Svensson. and the parent observing. You can see artwork in the background. It's an artistic environment. Here's some more coding for the web. A mentor and parent looks on. Look at the concentration on that student's face as he works on a web programming project. Provides immediate feedback with the tools. It's quite a lot to take on, you know, CSS, JavaScript, HTML5, but these kids pick it up somehow and build full websites. Another track we have is the Python Raspberry Pi track. We use the Raspberry Pi because it's hackable, it's inexpensive, the kids can own the platform for $35 if they want. The kids love it. They program in Python against JavaScript APIs running to control Minecraft, which is a 3D environment. So here you can see the joy of coding. The young student is pleased because he got his Raspberry Pi, which is that credit card computer beneath the monitor, to control his Minecraft environment. You can see the CLI up there. It's amazing. These kids figure out how to use an IDE, the Unix environment, and talk to APIs with no programming experience. It's mind-boggling. Here's rainbows. This student created some rainbows in Minecraft through the Python API. We have students building pyramids, cars. They make it rain blocks. They like to figure out explosions. They really can prove their superpowers here. You can see more tangled web of Raspberry Pi cables with mentors Jessica and Matt are up there. This group is very popular. It takes about 30 minutes ahead of time to set up the hardware, though, if you sign up for that group. Again, it's just about getting some Python sample code that the kids then morph and modify. Here's some more students with mentor Matt Johnson. And you can again see the focus of these kids as they make their intricate creations. Finally, for the older kids, usually teenage age, we've started a new 3D video game track called Unity 3D and Blender. Most of you know about this environment, but it's a cross-platform game development system, rendering engine that exports for easy mobile and multi-platform publishing. It's a professional environment. It takes Minecraft to a whole new level. You can see here a full 3D world with pathing, animation paths. And the kids picked it up. It's just amazing. So the first time we taught it, you can see Ryan Foss, the mentor, watching on his students work in JavaScript and C#, to script a fancy 3D world, which you can see in the foreground. Here's the classroom again. We had one student algorithmically create a terrain. First time they used it like Genesis in the Wrath of Khan movie. We had some kids make fancy particle effects with flares, and they created just amazing fires and explosions, which Mitch helped them with. And sometimes it gets very intent, as you know, with programming, so we really have to get into the code. Despite appearances, we are not debugging a Code42 Hazelcast communication problem with our storage array. So some of the tools, really easy to find online if you want to research it. We have scratch.mit.edu. You can download that. For Python, Minecraft, Raspberry Pi, it's pi.minecraft.net, Unity 3D, and there's tons of web tools. Just one example is Thimble. And there's other tools like CodePen, Dablet, Mozilla Hacksaurus. You can go to CodeSavvy for even more tools. So the CoderDojo so far has 72 mentors signed up. We have, so far we've had April 13th, April 20th, 27th, and May 4th. So we've had 4 sessions so far. We had 40 students and 16 mentors and very enthusiastic champions. Upcoming, we have an event tonight here at Code42 at 6:30, free food and drink. If you're a mentor or just curious about it, just stop on by and ask some questions, see if it's right for you. We also have Saturdays this summer every couple weeks. It's from 2 to 4 p.m. where you can bring kids, bring your own kids or bring cousins or neighbors or be a mentor. And you can sign up at CoderDojo Twin Cities. We're looking for a large pool of mentors to provide mentor flexibility. So that way we can open as many spots as possible, but you don't have to sign up or commit to every week unless you want to. Also, you can show up as a mentor, or if you bring a kid, you can just hang out. In fact, you're encouraged to do so. You can even just volunteer if you just want to, say, be a greeter or help with logistics or setup and teardown. Also, it fills up fast, so when you sign up online for notifications, when an event opens up, make sure you sign up quickly. Code42's involvement is we are an official sponsor. We are helping with mentors. As a mentor Code42, you don't have to go through a background check. You're already vetted. We're providing a mentor meeting space, such as this evening. We will eventually provide student classroom spaces, and we've already donated equipment, 4 laptops. Here are some people who have already got involved at Code42. In the first 4 sessions, Mitch, Van Eck, Justin, David Payne, myself, Nick Olmstad, Eric Johnson, and some new folks that have signed up include Alan Takuda, Brian Stevenson, Josh Sievers, Michelle Bolter, Xander Broffel, Isra Srun, and John Carlson. Did I forget anybody? So you want to help. How can you help? You can become a mentor. Just sign up at CoderDojo Twin Cities. You can spread the word. You can donate a laptop. You can volunteer. You can also we're on Facebook, CoderDojo Twin Cities, and also on Twitter. So in summary, we need champions, mentors, volunteers, students, and parents. Give back, make a difference, pay it forward, and inspire youth to code. Here's some from the Unity class. We have Mitch and his son, Cole, David Payne and his son, Jackson, myself, and my kids, David and Samantha. So any questions from the audience? Yeah.
One of the things I found intimidating when I was first learning to code was just like getting the environment set up and having other people to relate to that are doing the same thing. And that's one of the great things about this space is that it's already set up, just ready to go for the kids, and they got plenty of people right around with them. So yeah, it's a great experience.
So the students, the kids, do they have like a certain project in mind? Do you help them understand what they want to do? Do they have like a deadline or a time frame in which to do this? It's kind of open-ended.
All the above. So you have students that want to come in and just go with the flow, and then you can give them code snippets. You have others that have goals, and they want to build a rocket ship, and then you have to break it down into doable steps. But it's whatever the kids want to do, and you don't have to solve it. Sometimes other kids will help them, other mentors.
You have the free current tracks. Do you have any more tracks here that are applying the community?
It's completely open-ended. We basically created the tracks based on student interest. So when the students sign up, they ask what they've done and what they're interested in. So it could change. We could do an Arduino track at some point, or we could do a purely mobile track. It also depends on what mentors. If a mentor really wants us to teach something, we could do a track like that.
What's attendance like for gender, like girls versus boys? Even numbers?
Yes, we've been getting 50-50, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's pretty good. How do you get steerable
The question was, how do kids hear about it? There was a presentation at Minibar, which attracted a lot of attention. There's a website presence and also Facebook and Twitter presence. Usually the parents find out about it and then bring their kids. And as I mentioned, it sells out usually within hours. And then if we recruit more mentors, then we keep adding tickets. It's always filled up, so we don't know what the limit of interest is at this point. Any other questions?
What other companies did you say were sponsoring?
We have, it's Clockwork Active Media Systems, which has been providing a lot of the space up to this point. Code Savvy is sponsoring it. We're sponsoring it at this point. Those are the only 3 I'm aware of. And then the parent organization, I suppose. The kids currently, I think I don't have this written, but I mentioned that age range tends to be between 10 and 17. See, the kids we're getting, though we've had some as low as 7. If on a case-by-case basis, if they can, if we feel they can handle it. Also, if you're a mentor, you can bring your younger kids automatically. Does this look like something you can do? Yeah. Yeah.
What is the sign-up process? Is it easy or?
Oh yeah, it's just go to CoderDojo TC, get on the mailing list. You can sign up as a mentor. You're already approved as a Code42 employee. You'll get notifications to sign up via Eventbrite for the mentor events as well as the students, if you want to sign up students, and then you can put it on your phone or be reminded through email that way. So it works really nice with the Eventbrite signups. I'll be there there's a session this Saturday from 2 to 4. I'll be there, so several of you here.
You talked about that they kind of get a set of those snippets and stuff. Was that program that's already been put together, or the mentors have to like put together that material?
As a mentor, I haven't spent more than half an hour preparing, and usually I just look for code snippets. And you'll be told how many students will be in your group. We try to keep it to 2 to 3 students per mentor. So there usually aren't many materials to print out. Some people just provide them on we also can provide USB keys if you want to do it that way. And because some of these classes have been taught before, there's some material out there already that you can just sort of get from a Google Drive.
Just FYI, when I went to sign up for this, it was like a month and a half ago, and I got a response back, and I went to my email filters. I didn't know why I wasn't hearing back for 1 month, so I don't know.
Oh, it was a spam filter? Okay.
Yeah.
So watch your spam filters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, some people have brought kids that are just neighbors or family, cousins, not even their own kids. It's pretty fun. Do any of the mentors want to share their experience so far? I mean, Nick, how was it for you? Was it?
No, it was great. The last one I went to was the HTML class, and I brought a 14-year-old brother-in-law, and he'd never touched HTML before. And they were doing actually like a Pac-Man game in HTML that you saw on Google's homepage, and they changed the way the maze was, or trapped Pac-Man, or sped him up, and all that kind of stuff. They had a great time. So it was fun.
Anyone else want to share their experience? We have some new people too. Okay, and anybody going to be interested in attending tonight, 6:30, if you're still? Okay, got some nods, right? Well, great. If you hear a kid say they want a program, please tell them about this resource, even if you're not going to be directly involved, since our educational system doesn't really provide that at this point. So, any other questions or comments? All right, well, thank you. There will be information sent out to with these links afterwards. All right, thank you.